Storyboard, I'm Shibani Gharat. Publicis Groupe India recently launched Hack to the Future AI Hackathon to unleash the cutting-edge creativity, innovation, new ideas and scaled-up solutions around artificial intelligence. Different teams within Publicis Groupe worked and delivered 134 plus ideas on areas where AI could make significant impact and generate the most optimal results. With this, the group wanted to showcase how they are powering up the future of the agency through AI technology and innovation. To tell us more about this, their strategy around AI and futuristic tech, expectations around the festival season, and a lot of consolidation happening within the ad agencies, we are catching up with Anupriya Acharya, CEO Publicis Groupe South Asia, on all of this. Anupriya, welcome to CNBC-TV18 again.
Thank you very much. My pleasure.
So, Publicis Groupe has had AI Hackathon. Hack the Future of AI Hackathon. Can you tell us more about it and the kind of ideas that were generated out of this hackathon?
This one particular initiative was more to ensure that we also disrupt ourselves proactively and transform ourselves as an organization. The whole idea was, while we are creating a lot of work for our clients on using generative AI, this one was more to see how we can reinvent ourselves. And again, in the true spirit of innovation, we believe that it is important to have any such initiative across the organization and not sitting in just one corner.
And some heavy-duty prizes also given out worth lakhs of rupees.
Nothing motivates people
more than money.
So what we did in that is that we firstly got all our people involved, that they come up with fabulous ideas and great ideas that work, unlock growth for us, make us more agile, make us give better solutions, and make us better as a business. And so they stood up to that challenge, and we got more than 134 ideas across the organization.
An idea that stood, you remember.
Of course, I'll come to that, because it wasn't easy to go through those 134 ideas. So we had a whole group leadership team as jury. So I think 15, 16 people of us. So one of the ideas, I think with that one, the gold was contract.ai. So essentially it uses generative AI to sort of map all the detailed data around all the hundreds of contracts that we have and helps us in better decision making. That was a fabulous idea, presented very well, and it can be really transformative. So we are developing that.
Also, one of the things when it comes to AI, usage of AI and generative AI is that, whatever I'm hearing from experts within the industry is that it is also putting in a lot of pressure on the agencies to increase productivity, at the same time reduce costs. So how are you dealing with it, especially at this time where, there is a festive season that is on, there is a cricketing season that is going on, and advertising, it's in full blow. So how do you deal with that?
So that's a first for me, Shibani, frankly. I mean, I haven't come across any place where the client has come, okay, now, generative AI has come in place, so I'm going to now.
But that's one of the advantages.
I think it's a bit early for that. It's another thing that we ourselves want to disrupt ourselves and see what can happen. But I think it's still, we are far away from that still, and I'm pretty sure we'll innovate before that, right? But so I think the conversation in the market is less around, okay, fine, now what can you do for me and whatever. It's more a partnership in terms of experiment with it, like all technology. So it's a good idea to experiment with it, and you need brave clients for that who are willing to do that. So we do have such clients and such client partners. We're fortunate to have such clients. So there's a lot of interesting work which is happening in that area. So it's more around how we can tap to unleash newer solutions for possibly same old problems, and how can we engage with the consumer in novel ways that makes it exciting. And towards that, I don't know whether you're aware, so our recent work, there is a campaign called Say It Like Oreo.
With Farhan Akhtar.
Yes, with Farhan Akhtar. The whole idea over there is to ensure that each of the consumers who calls can, with a question, any question that they pose, Farhan should be able to answer in his own voice. And so that is a very good example of using generative AI. So we've used, I think, ChatGPT powered with, voice modulation, cloning of Farhan's voice through voice engines. And it's fabulous outcome. I think close to 1.5 million people have asked like all kinds of questions, and they got answers in Farhan Akhtar's inimitable voice. So that was that. And the more recent one, of course, is hashtag Puma Dive. I don't know whether you saw it's all over social media again.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's created by LB for Puma. And there is that famous, the iconic Puma dive, the cat diving. In the past, a lot of fans have thought of Virat Kohli's dive being pretty similar and drawn that comparison. So that was the campaign idea, really. And basically, the campaign which is running is to essentially encourage viewers to take pictures of players when they're diving within the match. And then submit it, and the generative AI then sort of maps it with the Puma dive and sees how close it is, and people get to win. So it's a fun campaign, and it's all over social media. It's like fun to see where it is reaching with people.
Correct. Now, moving away from AI, let's speak about the festival. We are meeting in the thick of the festive season, Anupriya.
Of course.
And, let's also speak about business. So how has the business fared this year? And how has the festive season that marries the cricketing season been for Publicis Group?
So we spoke, I think, here last time around the same time, and we told you how 22 was a fabulous year for us, like a really breakthrough year for us. I think one of the best across all parameters. On the back of that, when we opened 23, there were some headwinds globally for sure.
Yeah. And the growth was slow in the first half of the year.
Yes. So globally, of course, there was a lot of caution. So we also were a bit cautious, even though we had a fabulous 2022. A lot of new business wins, which were holding us well in 2023. Now that we are in the last quarter of the year, I'm happy to report that it has been a great year for us. So our new business momentum has continued. We've got a lot of new business. More importantly, our current clients have shown a lot of growth. Yes, there has been clients which are related to the more app economy and newer, there was a lot of funding which India was flushed with funds. Yeah. So a lot of them were contributing to growth as well last few years. There definitely
especially
has
around
been
big properties like IPL.
Yes. So there has been a bit slowdown on that, but the good news is that a lot of other categories like food and beverage, FMCGs, autos have made up for that. So it's been a good year, and great metal wins across many award festivals. To your next question on how are we viewing the festive season, I can tell you, I'm pretty sure the consumer and the marketers are busy. We are very busy. We have no time to talk, even on the floors. Nobody has time to talk to each other. Sure. So the number of campaigns that are getting created are innumerable. Like never before have we created so many campaigns. Our production teams are a bit busy. Our creative teams are busy. And I think this is also, in some manner, possibly a little resembles a bit 2020 and 2021, where we had IPL happening towards the end of the year, just before Diwali. I think it is replicating that a bit. So we have a late Diwali this year, and right before that, we have this huge mega property, the World Cup cricket. So I think everybody's rising to the occasion. We see spends being upped across all categories. So it's not only one or two categories. So we see FMCG, the usual, the food and beverage and all of that. But we also see the real estate, the retailers. We find also BFSI.
So happy days are here again for the ad industry.
Happy days are here, at least in the foreseeable future, and we are all sort of geared to Diwali.
Now, one of the other trends that I have seen over the past couple of years when it comes to the ad industry business is consolidation. A lot of consolidation.
Yes, I read a lot of news on that.
Your take on consolidation and so much of consolidation happening within the advertising agency groups?
I think there's a time and context to everything. And a lot of structuring and reorganization is cyclical in that sense. So, I'm not commenting on that particular sort of change in structures and changes,
within
whatever.
The group,
but at an overall level,
there has been.
Integration at times makes sense, and at times maybe specialization or a different structure makes sense. A lot of it is a function of the context of the market, context of clients, and context of your own structure and people and how they are organized. And I think the key challenge in a world that is getting more agile, tougher, disrupted by technology, each and every CEO has to constantly sort of be very close to that reality. And so I think that most of this reorganization or restructuring which is happening in the market is a function of that. The key thing in this, I believe in this case, is how close you are to the context. and more importantly, how well you are able to execute this. So it's not only
How
about
do
your
you get
strategy.
the agency leaders on board, for
Yes,
example?
yes. Execution is the key to succeed in any such thing, and how well you are able to mobilize your people and take your people with you.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today. Thanks
Thank
for
you
this
very
wonderful
much.
chat.
Thank you. My pleasure as always.
It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have all the excitement from Group M's Brew event.